Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome back to Formula Amateur, where today we are talking all about the Shakedown week that we had in Barcelona from what we could find out. So we're talking about which team took part in which day, who drove for each team that day as well, how many laps each driver made, and what their fastest time was. And then in the end, we'll also look at how many laps each team did over the entire week's span. So let's get it. So let's kick off with Monday, and on the Monday it was Isaac Hadjar for Red Bull. For Mercedes it was Kimi Antonelli and George Russell. For Audi it was Gabriel Bortoleto. For Racing Bulls it was Liam Lawson. For Cadillac it was Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez. For Alpine it was Franco Colapinto, and for Haas it was Esteban Ocon. So the slowest lap time was set by Sergio Perez. He did 11 laps and his time was 1:25.974. In 8th it was Bortoleto with 28 laps and his fastest was 1:25.296. And then in 7th it was Valtteri Bottas with 34 laps, 1 minute 24 seconds 651. In 6th it was Lawson with 88 laps, 1 minute 21 seconds and 513. In 5th it was Ocon with 154. He had the most laps that day, and his fastest was 1 minute 21 seconds and 301. In 4th it was Antonelli with 59 laps, 1 minute 20 and 700ths. In 3rd it was Colapinto with 60 laps, and he did his fastest in 1 minute 20 seconds and 189 hundredths. And then in 2nd was George Russell with 95 laps. His best time was 1 minute 18 and 696. And in 1st it was Hadjar with 108 laps, and his fastest time was 1 minute 18.159. And then on Tuesday, there were only 2 teams running. It was Red Bull with Verstappen and Hadjar, and then for Ferrari was Leclerc and Hamilton, and the fastest time was set by Verstappen, who did 27 laps, and he managed 1 minute 19 seconds and 578 hundredths. In 2nd it was Leclerc with 66 laps. His fastest was 1 minute 20 seconds and 844 hundredths. And in 3rd it was Hadjar with 52 laps, 1 minute 31 and 891. And then in 4th it was Hamilton with 57 laps and 1 minute 32 seconds 872. And then on the Wednesday, the teams that were running were Mercedes with Antonelli and Russell, Norris for McLaren, Gasly and Colapinto for Alpine, Behrman for Haas, Racing Bulls with Lindblad, and Hülkenberg with Audi. The slowest time was Hülkenberg. He did 68 laps. His fastest was 1 minute 21 and 010. In 7th was Lindblad with 119 laps. He did the most laps that day, and he did his fastest in 1 minute 19 and 420. In 6th it was Behrman with 42 laps, with his best time being 1 minute 19 seconds and 314. In 5th it was Gasly with 65 laps. His best time was 1 minute 19 seconds 297. In 4th it was Colapinto with 58 laps. His fastest was 1 minute 19 and 150. In 3rd it was Norris with 74 laps and 1 minute 18 seconds 307. In 2nd it was Russell with 92 laps, with his best time being 1:17.580. And in 1st it was Antonelli with 91 laps and 1 minute 17 seconds and 362. On Thursday, the teams that were running were Mercedes with Russell and Antonelli, Leclerc and Hamilton for Ferrari, Piastri for McLaren, and Lindblad and Lawson for Racing Bulls, Perez for Cadillac, and Stroll for Aston Martin. The slowest time was by Lance Stroll. He only managed 4 laps before the car gave up completely, so he didn't really get much time to improve, and he did his fastest time in 1 minute 46 seconds and 4:04. Then the next one is Perez with 66 laps. His fastest time was 1 minute 21 seconds 0:24. Then the next one was Lawson with 64 laps and 1 minute 18 seconds and 8:40. Then the next one after that is Hamilton with 85 laps. His fastest was 1 minute 18 seconds and 6:54. Then after that is Lindblad with 47 laps and 1 minute 18 seconds and 4:51. Piastri is the next with 48 laps and 1 minute 18 and 4:19. Piastri did say that there was some issue with the fuel intake in the car, something to do with the fuel, and they couldn't get as many laps in as they wanted. Then after Piastri is Leclerc with 89 laps, his fastest time being 1 minute 18 seconds 2:23. And then Antonelli is next with 90 laps. He did the most laps of anyone with 1 minute 17 seconds 0:81. And then Russell had the fastest time with 77 laps and 1 minute 16 and 4:45. Then Friday did not see many cars out on track. It was Ferrari, Mercedes and McLaren. For Ferrari it was both Hamilton and Leclerc. For Mercedes it was both Russell and Antonelli. And for McLaren it was Norris. So the slowest time, and this day was the closest of all of them. The slowest time was Antonelli with 1 minute 17 seconds 0:81. Then Leclerc was next with 1 minute 16 seconds 6:53. Then the next one was Norris with 1 minute 16 seconds 5:94, followed by Russell with 1 minute 16 4:45, and the fastest time was Hamilton with 1 minute 16 3:48. So overall, with this whole shakedown week being over, we have to take all of these times with a pinch of salt because they are the unofficial times as reported by Sky Sport. And I'm not sure if we'll actually find out what the official times are, but we'll see how that goes. So let's look at the overall amount of laps each team has made. So the most were made by Mercedes with 500 laps, then Ferrari with 442 laps, then Haas with 391, then Alpine with 349, Racing Bulls with 319, Red Bull with 305, McLaren with 287, Audi with 243, Cadillac with 164, Aston Martin with 65, and Williams with none because they didn't even attend. They were running their virtual track session instead due to whatever reasons they may have, but they have now confirmed that they are ready to take part in Bahrain. So with all of that being said, this means that we are done with the shakedown and we are prepping for the Bahrain testing where this will actually be broadcast and we'll be able to see how that goes from then on. And do bear in mind that Red Bull could have done more laps had it not been that Hadjar had a slight crash and they couldn't fix the car in time. I believe this was on the Tuesday-Wednesday time, and Max Verstappen couldn't get more time in either. So that was a slight issue because they couldn't get the parts in time to actually fix it on the day. So Red Bull were slightly struggling from that perspective. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Formula Amateur. I hope you enjoyed this one just like all of my other episodes. If you ever want to learn more about Formula One, please check out all of the other episodes that I have made over the past year on the Be The Change Media Network on any of your chosen platforms, including YouTube. And I hope you check out my lovely colleagues on the Be The Change Media Network. Please check out BeTheChangeMediaNetwork.com. It had a little bit of a fix up to be a bit more refreshed, so please take a look at that. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week and I'll see you next Saturday. Goodbye.